Okay, welcome everybody to the first session of our Brendan Out of the Box virtual camp. My name is Charlie Arms. I'm the director of Brendan Sailing, and this is an exciting new adventure for all of us. So I'd much rather be hanging out at Bemby Beach and going sailing with you, but since we couldn't make that happen, hopefully today will be a fun way to learn about parts of the boat, and through the weeks we'll learn a little bit more about sailing. The other instructor we have today is Evan. So I'm going to ask Evan to introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Evan. I'm the head instructor here at Brendan Sailing, and I'm coming in from Annapolis, Maryland, only actually like just a little bit away from Bemby Beach, where we would have been if we were in person. It's super exciting to see all you guys. I've been an instructor with Brendan for 4 years, and then I was a camper for, we think, around 6 years. We don't really know exactly how long, so I've been with Brendan for about 10 years. It's nice to see all you guys.
Awesome. All right, now I am going to ask you to open your box. So we're going to open the box and kind of go through what's in there. So the first thing you'll see is that packet that says July 17th. That's for next week. Oh, look at how pretty that is. I didn't wrap these. So you can open that up. Sarah, go ahead and tear off the blue paper. All right, and then the packet, there should be a packet of pens in there, and you can set those aside. Okay, and we don't need those right away. And then we're going to have a hull. You should be seeing, yeah, there's Evan's screen, and that's the hull. So that piece of wood. So everyone's got their hull. There we go. Unwrap your hulls. Okay, so that's our hull. The front of the boat, what's that called? We got some Brendan people in here. What's the front of the boat called?
The bow.
The bow, right? And that's,
yes.
Yep, the top, the pointy end. What's the back of the boat called?
Stern.
The stern, right? Okay, what is the right side of the boat called? Starboard. And what's the left side called?
Port.
And how do you remember that?
I just remember them.
Yeah, same.
Okay, here's an easy way to remember it. The left side, Left, left, and port, P-O-R-T, both have 4 letters in them. So that's a good way to remember port is left, okay? And we're gonna see where we're gonna put the fin of the boat. So that slot is where the fin or the keel of the boat's gonna go. And then on the top of the boat, you can see there's a little post, and that post has a slit in it, and that's gonna be our cleat. That's gonna hold the end of the line so that it doesn't run free. We're going to show you how to do that later. Okay, so that's our hull. And then we have the fin or the keel. So inside the packet, you can dump the stuff out of that plastic sleeve. Inside of there is the fin or the keel, or what do we have on our topazes down at Bemby Beach? What do we use to keep the boat from skidding sideways and to help keep it going upright? Remember what that's called, Kyle or Matthew? It acts like as a center board. So on the topazes or the 420s that we sail, that's the center board. But here we're going to call it a fin. And then we have the sail. And so there's 3 corners and 3 edges of the sail. And Evan's got a cheat sheet for us. So the top corner is the head. It's the pointiest piece. The forward or leading edge is called the luff. The bottom corner is the tack. The bottom edge is the foot. The back corner is the clew. And then the back edge is the leech. So can you guys see my little drawing here? This is Captain Luff. Yeah. And the way we remember the edges of the sail are Captain Luff has a tack in his foot, but he doesn't have a clue that there's a leech on his head. Okay, Captain Luff has a tack in his foot, but he doesn't have a clue there's a leech on his head. So we're gonna do our little saying. So if you could point to the left, Captain Luff, and everyone, I want you to say this out loud.
Captain Luff.
Captain Luff
Has a tack
has a tack in his foot.
Yeah. But he doesn't
But he
have
doesn't have a
But
clue.
he doesn't have a clue that he
There's
has
a
a leech
leech on his
head.
forehead.
Excellent. On his head. Okay, good job, everybody. So the other thing we have is there's 2 spars. We've got our sale now. There's 2 spars. Kellen, go ahead and, you just had a bag. Go ahead and open your bag up. So there's 2 spars, 2 sticks. The longer stick, that's going to be the mast. That's what's going to hold our sail upright. And the smaller of the 2 sticks is the boom. And that is what is going to, that's what we're going to attach the foot of the sail to, is the boom.
All right, guys. So another thing that you should have in your kit is 5 pre-cut pieces of white tape. And so these pieces of tape is what we're going to use to attach the mast and the boom to the sail. And we'll do that in a second. And then we talked about the keel, this fin, earlier. And there's a reason that you've got a piece of sandpaper, which is this brown kind of rough stuff with all kinds of weird numbers on the back. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to sand our fin. So on my boat, and probably a lot of your guys's too, the fin is just a little bit too big. So even if I press really hard, it's not going to go in. It's just a little bit too big.
We've got your hull, you've got your mast, you've got your sail, boom, and then the pieces of tape. And then you're going to have your main sheet. I didn't mention that yet. So while Evan's trying to sign back on, yep, there's the yellow piece of paper. It's got all the things that you need. So while Evan's signing back on, what I want you guys to do is take your main sheet, the little piece of string, and I want you to test out the cleat on your hull. So you're going to take the string and you're going to push it down into that slit on the cleat. Can everyone do that? So Sarah, take your piece of string and see the little post on the hull of your boat? The little
That
thing
right there?
sticking up? Yep, there's a little slit in there. So everyone try putting the string, which is our main sheet, in that
Got
slit.
it.
I got it in.
Awesome. All right, cleat time. All right, so we mentioned a little bit earlier of this little nub on the top of the boat, and this is going to function as our cleat. And a cleat is just something on a boat that's going to securely hold a line. So our main sheet right here, this little piece of string we got, is going to be used to trim our sail, to pull our sail in and pull it out. And this cleat is what's going to hold that in place wherever we set it. And so in this cleat, all we're going to do is we can take our string and we could just push it in that slot right in the middle.
Got it. Oh, I
And you see it just pulls into that. And then, even if we're pulling on the string a little bit, because it's not a super strong cleat, it'll still hold it nice and in place. So I'll show you that one more time. So all we do is we take the string, we just fit it right down the middle there, and we can press it down with our finger. There we go. And it just holds it nice like that. Everyone see that? Does anyone have any questions about that, or what any of those words mean, or what they do on a boat?
Not very much.
All
I have
right,
one
let's go ahead.
question. Are we supposed to keep this string long or short or like?
You can go ahead and take it off right now, and Evan's gonna have you guys tie it to your boom. So you can go ahead and uncleat it for now. And Evan, go ahead and talk about tying off that main sheet and then putting the rest of the boat together.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just as a reminder, we are calling this little piece of string is our main sheet, and that's going to control the sail. And then this shorter pole right here is our boom. And so what we're going to do is we're going to attach the main sheet to the boom first. Now you've got 2 ends of the boom, and you could pick whichever one you like. But what's important about where we tie this main sheet is that we leave a little bit of space from the place where we're tying the knot to the end. So we want maybe an inch or just a pretty good gap between the end and where we're going to tie our knot. And we don't have to tie any fancy knots. So just what's called an overhand knot, which is just looping it around. So just, the knot that you're used to, starting off tying your shoes or anything like that. And we could just tie 2 of those knots and try not to leave too much slack at the end. So I'm just going to have a little bit of string here, and then I'll tie my first knot. It's a little hard to tie a knot while you're holding the boom, isn't it?
Are we
It
doing
is,
it
it
on the
really is.
longer one or the shorter one?
The
The
shorter one.
shorter pole. We're using the shorter pole. And that's our boom. Ooh, mhm.
It's hard to see what you're tying.
Sorry about
So,
that,
like-
guys.
Like this.
Yep, that looks good. Good job, Fatme.
It's a little hard to hold it
right.
and tie it.
I got this.
Let's see it. Let's see you guys' knots if you've
All
tied
right.
them yet. I'm still tying mine. I'm a little bit of a slow knot tire on
So
this
we
tiny.
tie two
boom.
same. So we tied 2 overhand knots, or just
Yep,
Yeah.
just 2 simple overhand
not
knots.
2?
So we've got that
Is
all
it funny
tied
if,
up.
like there's a little
There's
bit extra?
mine.
like
It's
the
alright if
tail.
there's just a little bit extra.
Yeah, see, you
wanna
can
make
see
sure
on
it's-
the yellow piece of paper, it kind of shows you about where that main sheet goes.
Then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sail and lie it nice and flat, and then we're gonna take our longer pole, which is the mast, and we're gonna line up the head of the sail, which is, you remember this very point right here, and we're gonna line that up at the very top of our mast. It's really important to keep those right up against each other. Okay.
On the larger one?
Yep, the larger pole. And then what we're
Okay.
going to do is we're going to take one of our pieces of tape, and then we're going to peel the paper backing off. It's a little hard to see the paper. You just got to find the corner.
And good thing I have long fingernails.
Wow, that is really hard to find the corner.
Okay, that's good, Sarah. And you can see where he, see on the yellow piece of paper, you're going to put that on top of your mast, the very pointy top.
Okay. Like that part, the tip?
Yep, but you're going to put it around kind of demo it before you take the paper off if you want to, Evan, so they can
Sure,
see how to do
that
it.
sounds good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take the piece of tape, we're going to slide it under the mast and the sail, under both of them, so they're at the very, very tip.
Sticky side up.
Sticky side up, yep. And then we're just going to hold it down and fold it over itself and
Okay.
press that down. And there's going to be a lot of excess, that's okay, but it's just really important that we
Yeah,
get
that
all
looks
of that
good,
right at the
Bartley.
top.
Wait, under the
That's
mast
good, Sarah.
and
Yep, under the mast.
and the sail.
Yeah,
and
so
the
you're
sail.
attaching the sail and the mast together with the tape. That looks good, Catherine.
Yeah, this is one time I'm glad to have long fingernails.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't
Gabriel,
get that
do you
piece
have
of
it?
paper off. Let me try a different one.
I'll be right back. I need to get something to help get this off.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very difficult paper.
I
Mine's
just
not
what
sticking.
I did is I
It's
just put
difficult
it
to
in
tie this
between my
knot.
fingers like this, and I just kind of rubbed it.
Rubbed it a little bit.
Did someone
Okay,
have a
thanks,
question about
Sarah.
the knot?
Yeah, it's very difficult to tie with this tiny.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I know you can get it. If you need to come back to it until the end, that's okay. We can come back and work on tying the knot after we put on everything.
Yep. Okay,
Oh,
so
no,
how are we
it doesn't
doing? Has
tape over
everyone got
itself.
that first piece of tape?
Yes.
Back for a second.
Is it okay that I cut off like the extra part?
Yeah, you can do
It's
that now or
okay.
you can do it later. That's fine.
I actually already taped the second part too.
Okay, so you guys can see from the yellow piece
Yeah.
of paper where the next one is.
So we're just sliding that one, same thing, sticky side up, under the sail and the mast. And just hold that down and just fold it on over
Hey,
to
can you guys
itself.
hear me with the
Flatten it
mic?
down like that.
Okay.
That's your boom. Can you do your mask? Can you attach your mask like Evan's doing?
Yep, that's with the longer pole.
And so that tape, we don't
Okay.
want to tape it to the yellow piece of paper. We just want to tape it to itself.
Yeah, so we're just doing the sail
So-
and the mast, taping
Yeah,
them
so
to each
if you
other.
look at what Evan's doing, the yellow piece of paper is good to look at. We don't want to tape anything to the paper. We just want to use it as a guide or a reference. All right,
Were you
Gabriel,
gonna
you have your
Put
first
it in the
piece?
middle? Like, should
Yep.
you put it?
There's
Right there,
there's
Sarah.
one
That's
here.
good.
There's one here.
Helen,
Here, I'll
you
put
got it?
the pieces of paper over it so you guys can see
Yeah, I
where
think I
those
got
were.
it.
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Okay, Evan, you
I'll
ready?
get it. Yep, the third one. All right, so we've got our piece of tape, and just like the previous two, sliding it under the sail and the mast, right at the very bottom, so it lines up with the foot. And then same thing, fold that around, press that down, nice and secure.
Is this good? Like, did I?
That's
Yeah,
looking
Bartley,
great,
that looks
Bartley.
Good.
You guys
Gabriel,
are doing
you have
awesome.
your first piece of tape on there?
Yeah.
That's some stubborn tape.
It
So,
is. I found a good
wherever that
technique
fr-
for the tape, guys. Can I show you real quick?
Yeah.
So I'll show you mine real quick. So what I do is I'm just gonna grab the tape by both ends, and I'm just gonna kind of pull the corner like I'm almost trying to rip a piece of paper in half, and it stretches the tape, but it rips the paper, so it gives you an edge on the paper to kind of pull it up along.
Oh, that works good, Evan.
Yeah, you
Good
stretch
job.
the tape a little bit, but it's still gonna work just fine. Trust me.
Okay, so Matthew, do you have your mast attached?
I have 3 pieces of tape right now.
Good, Sarah. You're on schedule.
Not yet for me.
Awesome. We're still doing good though, guys. All right, so you guys can keep working on the parts, and we can come back and work on things. We're just gonna keep it all going. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our boom, and remember how we left a little bit of space on that edge between where we tied our knot? So we want the knot facing the starboard side, so the knot towards this corner of our sail. Does everybody see where that knot is? It's a little bit inside, but it's on this side of the sail.
Like
Everyone see that?
kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly, Sarah. Exactly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our next piece of tape, sticky side up, just like we did for the mast, and we're going to put that under the boom or piece of wood here and under the sail, right in the corner. Same thing, fold that over.
Can I use Scotch tape? It's really hard to get the tape out.
Yeah, if you'd like to. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Remember I showed you that technique where you could pull it apart?
Yeah,
Oh, rip
I accidentally ripped it in half.
Oh, you're strong, Gabe. It's all right. Yeah. So for anyone that's at this point, we're going to do our last piece of tape, and we can all catch up together. It's all good. And we're going to take our last piece of tape here, and we're going to put it on the outside of this knot. So this side right here. Does everyone see? So we've got our knot on this side, the corner of the boom on this side. We're going to put our piece of tape in the middle. So just like before, under the boom and under the sail, sticky side up. Oh,
Oh no, I can't get this one.
it's all right.
Ricky?
You got it. Just
Oh
be
yeah, I
persistent.
got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice
so
job. You see,
all the
you
way to
got
the
this.
end of the sail. So you're
All
gonna
the way
have
at the
to
end.
Yeah, you'll have parts that you'll need to trim it off.
And then fold it up and over and press that down nicely. So yeah, I've got a little bit of overhang everywhere. It's all right. It just gives it a little bit of sail character.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sail with
let's
character.
see your sails, guys.
Awesome. So once you've
I
got
just
that all
got my
taped,
thing done.
wave yours
did the
up.
14
Wave yours
go?
up in the camera. Let's see your cool sails, guys.
Okay, so we're gonna unpin Evan's video, and everyone should be gallery view. We can see everyone's sails.
I'm just getting the last piece of tape because I couldn't
I
get it.
just got mine.
Okay. Oh, good job, Bartley. Yeah,
That's
that's
looking
it.
great. Nice job, Hannah.
Straight.
Nice job, Matthew.
It goes the cool map, man.
How you doing?
Oh yeah,
Hannah?
that's a pretty cool atlas.
Mine might be a little hard to see because of that.
No, it looks great, Matthew. I can see it against your cool orange shirt.
Oh, thanks.
Are we supposed to have an extra piece of tape?
Nope,
There
you
might
should have
be.
5.
There
Oh,
might
yeah,
there
you
might have been an extra piece.
I
A little bit of
have 1 extra.
yeah. There could have
That's all
been.
right.
I have a bunch. Where did the 4th and 5th go? I didn't see. I was
It's okay.
trying to put mine on.
It's all right. So the 4th and 5th are going to go on the boom, which is this bottom piece of wood here. And so we're lying it against the foot of the sail, making sure this knot is towards the end. And then we've got 1 piece of tape in the corner right near the tack, and then another piece of tape on the outside of the knot. So the knot's kept inside by this piece of tape.
And
Alright,
if you
thanks.
don't have your main sheet on, that's okay. We can help you later.
Yeah,
Don't
we can
worry
do
about
that after. All right. Awesome. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to step our masts. So on our hull here, we've got 2 main features on the deck. We've got our cleat, which we talked about earlier, and we've
This
got
one.
this mast hole. And what we're going to do is we're going to step our masts. So I'm going to show you guys here and then lay my boat down. So all you have to do is pick up your rig by the mast and step it and just put it right into the hole. And
Oh,
then
wow.
it's really starting to look like that picture now, huh? So now that we've got all that,
Is it kind of like this?
Yep.
yeah, that's looking great. And then the next thing we're going to do is just like we talked about earlier with the cleat, we're going to take our main sheet and we're going to push it into the cleat, just like that. So I'll
Should
show
it be
you guys.
tight or kind of loose?
It can
Kinda
be loose
loose.
for right now.
Yep.
So I'll show you guys one more time on my video. All you have to do is press the main sheet, our little piece of string here, down into the cleat, which is this little post on the boat. All right, and once
How
you
do we
guys have
get
that all done,
that?
show us your boats on video.
So how do we make like the cleat
Here
stay?
it is. How's it look?
You just have to press it inside this little cut in the middle.
Yeah, the string actually kind of goes into the post a little bit.
Yeah, it keeps like popping out from me.
Ta-da!
Oh, it's okay.
All right.
It's
good
not
job,
going to be able to
Sarah.
hold a whole ton of force. You guys are really strong, so you're probably pulling it right out.
Extremely strong.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! When you move it like this, you can kind of hear it, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a fan.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Be careful though. It's a delicate rig.
Okay,
No, it's
so real quick, we're not going to have time to get our fins to fit in because it's going to take a little bit of sanding time. But Evan's going to show you guys how you're going to do that, and you can work on it during the week. So Evan, do you want to talk
Yeah.
about the fin going in the slot?
Absolutely. So just like we mentioned earlier, this slot is going to be a little bit too big for this fin. So all that you're going to need to do is you can take your piece of sandpaper and just pick one of these top or bottom edges, and you're just going to rub in circles with the sandpaper right on that face. You do one side for a little bit, and then you flip it over and do the other side, and you just keep doing that a little bit, and then see, all right, mine still needs a little bit more work. And then you're not going to do that right now. We're going to be doing that. You guys can do that during the week. But just rubbing circles on there, taking little bits of material off, and then trying to get it in a fit. And then eventually it'll fit in so it sticks out the bottom like that.
And so make sure that you stand for a little bit of time and then you test it because you don't want to get it too small because then it will fall out.
Oh, and a big tip so you don't annoy your parents, use a trash can, and you can sand over a trash can so that you don't get sawdust everywhere.
Okay.
So, awesome.
Excellent. Thank you, Evan. All right. So
All right.
we all have beautiful boats now, but we don't have names. So one thing you're going to need to think about this week is what you want to name your boat. And boat names are generally in one or two places.
Oh no.
One is the transom. So can you guys point to the transom of your boat, the very back edge?
I have a question.
Sure.
Does it go in like? Because I'm gonna probably put it in during the week, so does it go in like
It's
that?
going to go
or
in,
like
if you take a look
that?
at my video, I could show
Like
you.
that. The second way, Sarah. So it's
Okay,
slanted backwards.
Okay.
I just gave
Yep.
rid of the name. Oh.
Okay, so you guys you need to think of a boat name and you can
We're not
write
doing
it,
the sanding now. Let's pay attention to Charlie, guys.
You can write it on the transom.
Thanks, Sarah.
Or you can write it on what we call the top sides. That's the part of the boat that is up out of the water. So think about what you want to do. And then you also have the pens. The pens we gave you are all waterproof. And so they will, they're great for doing the hull. You'll want to sand your hull till it's smooth. And I would take a piece of paper and kind of draw what I want my boat to look like and then do it on the boat. Because if you make a mistake and you change your mind, if you've already drawn it on the boat, it's too late. So use the pens, or if you have any pens at your house that are waterproof, because these boats are going to go in water, you can use those to decorate the hull of your boat. All right, so
Yes, Sarah?
we have a quick quiz.
Won't the
coming
wood
up.
get kind of soggy? Well,
That's
I mean,
okay. This is
Nope.
the type of wood that'll keep, that's water resistant.
Yep.
Oh,
It's a,
awesome.
is it
That's-
pine?
Yes.
It's a
Okay, so
pine.
we're going to do a quick quiz here. Our first poll question. You guys can put your boats down for a second and then look up at the screen, and we're going to ask you a question.
I did mine. I put
I
mine
answered
I
mine.
did mine.
Nice job.
I have done mine.
I did mine. Oh, nice job.
All right, almost
Yeah.
everybody got the answer right. The port side is the left side. Sometimes the port side is also the leeward side, but we'll talk about that in week 3. Okay, we have one more question. Which is the top corner of the sail? Top corner. Everyone vote.
Oh, nice
Yeah.
job. Woo!
End of the sail. All right, guys, good job. Okay, so for next week, as you're cleaning up, getting rid of those pieces of tape and stuff, this week your homework is to sand the hull and sand the fin, make sure it fits in nice and snug. Name your boat and put your name on your boat and decorate it however you want to do and send me a picture of it. And then for next week, you're going to need a bucket or a big pot of water, something big enough that your boat will float in.
Can
So
we do a
that-
bathtub?
So
No,
Yeah.
because we're going to do it as part of the Zoom call. So we don't want to be having your Zoom call in the bathtub. So something a little bit smaller, just big enough for your boat to float in. If you have a pot that's not quite big enough for the boat to float in, that's okay. The biggest pot or bucket your mom has. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody.
All
We'll
right,
see you
thanks,
next
guys.
week.
Thanks for
We'll
coming
see you
out.
next week.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.